Hello everybody. In this video we will learn how to make forked cluster. It is puffy stitch like this. It's about the height of double crochet and it creates very soft, thick, warm fabric. It is absolutely reversible, looks the same on both sides, and it can be worked in any number of stitches or chains. Here I made the foundation of I didn't make the foundation chain. I started with the foundation single crochet. I made 22 stitches just for this sample. Any number of stitches or chains will work for this particular cluster. Make like triangles like this. Why I call it cluster? If the what you call legs of the stitch are placed on in different stitches of the previous row, like one is placed here, the other one is placed here, but they have a top together, this stitch will be called cluster. So this is called forked cluster. That's from stitch book. So it is very easy to make. You can chain any number of chains, or you can start with foundation stitches, any number of stitches. I had 22. And let's start. I chain one and don't count it as a stitch here. Yarn over, place your hook, insert your hook in this first stitch where you chained from, yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on hook. Now yarn over again and insert your hook in the next stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Now you have 5 loops on hook. Now you yarn over and pull through 3 loops, and you have 3 more on hook, and yarn over, pull through these 3 loops on hook, and we have this tall say triangle cluster. It is work over 2 stitches, and for next one we yarn over and we will place this first leg of this cluster in the same stitch we ended the previous cluster. Insert your hook in this same stitch. Here it is second from the beginning of the row. Place your hook in this same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, and the second leg of this cluster will go in next stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 5 loops on hook, and now yarn over, pull through 3 loops, and again yarn over, pull through 3 loops. So now we're making these puffy triangles, and repeat to the end of the row. Yarn over, insert your hook in the same stitch where you ended the previous stitch, right here. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and now insert your hook in the next stitch. yarn over, pull up a loop. We have 5 loops on hook, and yarn over, pull 3 loops, and yarn over, pull through these remaining 3 loops to finish the cluster. Now you have 3 little triangles, and now we repeat to the end of the row. Let's make a couple more together. Let me finish the row. I will show you how to end it. I'm back and I have almost completed the row. I have one more cluster to go. I have this last stitch. If it's your first cluster row, and it will be your last stitch right here left, or for me it is this last cluster. This is the top of it. So the last cluster goes the same, yarn over, place your stitch right where you ended the previous one, yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over, and the second leg of the cluster goes into the last stitch. Really, I got it tight. Yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull through 3 loops, and again. Now I have 21 clusters. I started with 22 stitches, but since I'm making the clusters and I'm combining them, putting them in the previous stitch and then in next stitch, and they have common at the top, so it means it's basically 2 stitches together. We have one last stitch, and to compensate for it, I will place 1 double crochet in the same last stitch right here. Yarn over and insert your hook in this last stitch where you ended last cluster, and just make double crochet. Why double crochet? Because this cluster is about the height of double crochet, just to make even amount of stitches. Now I have 22 stitches. If I count these V's, it will be 22 stitches. And now we just repeat this row over and over again to make it as tall as we need. So again, I'll turn my work, chain 1, I don't count it as a stitch, yarn over, insert hook in this first stitch where I just chained from, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, insert stitch into next, insert hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up loop, there are 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 3 loops twice, and for the next one, for the next cluster, yarn over, insert your hook in this stitch where we just ended the previous cluster, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull through 3 loops twice to complete this cluster, and continue to the end of the row. And don't forget to place double crochet it in the very last stitch, which will be this, the top of this last cluster. You will end your last cluster right here, and you will place double crochet right at that same stitch. Turn your work and keep going. This is one of those yarn eater stitches, but it makes very warm, thick, soft fabric. If you need like thick scarf, thick cowl, or a very thick blanket, or you can use it for a hat, anything you need warmth, it will work. And it's reversible, as I said. Wrong and right side. This is the right side. That's how the right side looks, and this is how the wrong side looks. They look identical, just on the wrong side you will see these lines. This is the back of the stitch. In every other row you will have this line. Actually, it's the back of the stitch, so it makes very interesting texture. Thank you for watching.